stock number 3. Well, from a $120 or so billion company to a $9 billion company. Let's now go to a sub $2 billion company. Editas Medicine, the ticker symbol is EDIT. Editas Medicine is capitalized at, about $1.2 billion as I tape this podcast on Tuesday, April the 2nd, what I like to call the day after April Fool's Day each year. So Editas has been a fascinating company and a stock to follow. I first recommended it about a year and a half ago. It was September 2017. The stock was at 20. It was exciting to watch it go from 20 up to 45 6 months later. Yep, that was last March. Right around this time, it had more than doubled. In the meantime, though, it came all the way back down. In fact, it briefly dropped below 20 before settling back to where it trades this week, around 26. So, yeah, this is a volatile stock. It is a small cap. You could even say a micro cap, especially within the world of medicine and medical technology. So, two things that I like about Editas Medicine. The first is this is an early stage leader in an important new technology. Please read about it. I know some of you know this better than I do, but it's called CRISPR. And if you don't know what CRISPR is, just Google it. You can read more about it on Editas' website, for example. And it does have a Wikipedia entry as a $1 billion company. But this is an early leader in basically another approach to gene therapy, an efficient and highly effective way to go in and snip, edit out a bad gene and put in a better one. Now, in contrast to cancer immunotherapy, which is a little bit more mature today, even though it's still early days, this CRISPR technology is way earlier than that. This is an example of the kind of stock that could blow up in the lab, blow up in our faces when we review this a year or 2 or 3 years from now. It's only a $1 billion company, and it's not even the only company purposed toward CRISPR. But CRISPR is its own technology. Again, read more about it, but you're going to see that if it works, it has the potential to really, again, effectively get there and edit just that one gene that needs to be taken out in order to cure you of this or make you better at that. And by including make you better at that, I open up the Pandora's box of possibilities of what this technology could do, because probably not every biotechnologist on Earth from now into the future will be just trying to correct severe genetic problems. No doubt some of them will be bad players that are trying to in some way make the genes theirs or those connected to them better or worse. So this is a powerful technology. It might not even work, by the way. CRISPR is still more the stuff of test tubes and laboratories than for-profit cash flow dynamics. But if the promise comes true, we are going to unleash on this earth, in the age of miracles, new possibilities in addition to new cures. And people are going to have mixed feelings about that. I mean, if I could give you a better memory right now, and I could just give you a shot, and as a consequence, you would triple your memory capacity, would you take that shot? And if you wouldn't, would you allow me to take that shot? Because I might I sure would like to have a much better memory. So there are, of course, moral, ethical implications to all of these things, and the conversations have already started, and they'll probably never end. But my prediction is that this technology will be used for good. It will be used for augmentation beyond just curing, and that will lead to a better world. In fact, one that sounds a little bit like the Motley Fool's purpose to me, a smarter, happier, and richer world. We shall see, and whether or not Editas Medicine even brings that to you and me as a micro-cap company in this space with some early competition is not clear. Certainly not clear to me. It shouldn't be clear to you unless you are working with this technology. And I know some of our Rule Breaker and Stock Advisor members are, in fact, because you've written me and let me know that you're working within this space. And it's fascinating, and I congratulate you on how exciting it is. So that's one thing I certainly like about Editas. A second thing that I like about this, and I'm going to talk about this in the context of our 5-stock sampler, a second thing I like about Editas is it's kind of our flyer stock. Out of these 5, this is the one that's a really small market cap that has a really big dream. In my experience, these don't pay off the majority of the time, but if and when they do, they can be spectacular. Now, it's probably a rare chance that Editas ends up being a $100 billion company. It has the potential, but in my experience, more often than not, that doesn't happen. Sometimes you do get a great stock. It's just not that great. Or you get a company that gets bought out by another larger company as the big fish starts eating the guppies with high R&D budgets, really good technology, and talented engineers. But a bigger fish comes along, takes a liking to it, and so you don't get to enjoy the full benefits of a company like this. We'll see. But second thing I like here, I like that we're including a stock like this in our sleeve in our 5-stock sampler. Well, what's one thing to watch for when you're thinking about Editas Medicine, if you're considering adding it to your portfolio and following the company? Yeah, CRISPR. Just keep an eye on that technology. If this is the first time that you're hearing that phrase, you should know it's an acronym. I can't actually produce for you the 6 letters that make up the acronym, but I'll tell you it's spelled CRISPR. There's no E in there. And this is the last podcast that's going to be giving you deep knowledge about CRISPR. We're staying at a high level here with this coming to stock pick, but I'll say this, kind of like I didn't know that much about robotic surgery when I first picked Intuitive Surgical in 2005, and I know more. I'm still not in the field, but I know more. In fact, I've been in an operating room since and spent time with the surgeon and used the machine briefly myself. And maybe I'll have some analog-like opportunity in CRISPR in the future. But when we're talking about what to watch with this one, you're going to want to watch the technology of CRISPR itself and see whether it works or not, see how the world feels about it, and whether it's adopted. So that's the obvious thing to look for Editas Medicine.